Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Millennium TV News. This is Rofiq Pramanik with top stories. Berlin crush attack on humanity, said Donald Trump. More US sanctions on Russia, but for how long? Russia, Iran, Turkey say ready to broker Syria deal. Protesters call for Congo leader Kabila to step down. Germany cleans up after deadly holiday attack, manhunt mounts. Those are the headlines, now the detail. US President-elect Donald Trump says the truck that plowed into a Christmas market in Berlin killing 12 was an attack on humanity. US President-elect Donald Trump called the attack in Berlin on a Christmas market an attack against humanity. A Tunisian man who is still at large is suspected of carrying out the attack, which killed 12 and injured dozens more. Trump made the remarks in Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, where he is spending the Christmas holiday. The U.S. State Department has defended new sanctions on Russia, saying they were prompted by Moscow's actions in Ukraine. But as Ivor Bennett reports, with Donald Trump becoming president in a few weeks, they may not have much long-term impact on the economy. It may be the end of long goodbye, but he's clearly not done yet. The new sanctions on Russia responds, the White House says, to a spike in violence in Ukraine. But with less than a month to go before Obama leaves office, his team has been forced to defend the timing, insisting it has nothing to do with the transition to Trump. U.S. State Department spokesman John Kirby saying this decision by the Treasury Department had nothing to do with the time on the clock. Russia, Iran and Turkey say they are all ready to help broker a Syrian peace deal after the three countries hold talks in Moscow and adopt a declaration which sets out the core principles of a Syria peace agreement. They are calling it the Moscow Declaration. A proposal between Russia, Turkey and Iran, which Moscow says amounts to a roadmap for a Syria ceasefire and potentially an end to the protracted war. Foreign Minister of Russia, Turkey and Iran plus their defense chiefs have been meeting in Moscow to review the situation on the ground. The urgency for Russia heightened after its ambassador to Turkey was gunned down in Ankara by a man shouting, "Don't forget Aleppo." The declaration broadly says Russia, Turkey and Iran, all key players in the Syrian conflict, are ready to help broker a peace deal. Berlin cleans up after a truck driver plowed through a holiday market in Berlin, killing 12, and authorities consider the at-large suspect to be armed and dangerous. Berlin is picking up the pieces of Monday's attack, when a truck driver mowed through a crowd drinking mulled wine and enjoying the Christmas market with a 25-ton truck. 12 people were killed and dozens more injured. Authorities have until now treated the market as a crime scene. They have turned their focus on manhunt. Authorities say the suspect is considered armed and dangerous. They say the driver may go by as many as 6 different aliases, and they are appealing for the public's help with €1 lakh reward for information leading to his arrest. An ID found in the cab of the truck has the name Anis Amri on it, but may not necessarily be the alias being used. Protesters take to the streets in Kinshasa calling for DR Congo's President Joseph Kabila to step down following the end of his mandate. Security forces fired tear gas and arrested youth gathered in the streets of Kinshasa on Tuesday. Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila stepped down after his mandate expired overnight. At least 2 civilians were killed overnight when soldiers opened fire during clashes in the neighborhood of Kingawa. Two witnesses said the government spokesman could not be reached for comment and police spokesman could not confirm the information. Limited protesters started on Tuesday after opposition leader Eteni Tshisekedi called on the Congolese people to peacefully resist Kabila, who has remained in power beyond his constitutional mandate and with no election to pick a successor. Viewers, we'll take a short break. Stay with us. We are back in a moment with the headlines here. Last Syrian rebel Aleppo enclave squeezed. People run for their lives after massive fireworks explosion in Mexico. Over 40 die in Siberia after drinking bath oil for alcoholic kicks. President holds talks with KSJL LDP on EC Constitution. BNP happy as it holds dialogue with President. The Syrian army says it's closing in on the last rebel enclave in eastern Aleppo. Closing in on Aleppo's last rebel enclave, an emboldened Syrian army is warning insurgents it's poised to enter the area, telling them to speed up evacuations. It comes as advances are made of the battlefield. Ministers from Russia, Iran and Turkey adopting a so-called Moscow Declaration Tuesday, setting out principles for a peace deal. It also helps cement Russia's growing influence in the region and strengthens ties with Tehran and Ankara, despite the murder on Monday of Russia's ambassador in Turkey. Last week, Russian President Vladimir Putin said he was working with his Turkish counterpart to organize fresh Syrian peace talks without the involvement of the US or United Nations. People frantically fled the scene of a huge explosion in a fireworks factory in Tultepec, Mexico on Tuesday, which has left at least 29 people dead and scores wounded. Television images showed a flurry of pyrotechnics exploding into the early afternoon sky as a giant plume of smoke rose above the market. Fireworks detonated in a peal of clattering burst reminiscent of a war zone. The Technicolor blast was the third such explosion in just over a decade to hit the popular San Pavilto marketplace in Tultepec, about 20 miles north of Mexico City. The detonation struck in the run-up to the busy Christmas holiday when many Mexicans stock up on fireworks. People are crying everywhere and desperately running in all directions, said 20-year-old witness Cesar Carmona. At least 40 residents of the Siberian city of Arkhangelsk have died after drinking bath oil, Russian investigators say, waiting for a news of their loved ones. At least 40 residents of the Siberian city died after drinking bath oil, others hospitalized. Investigators in Arkhangelsk say it contained methylated spirits. The people who drank it were thought to be seeking a cheap alternative to alcohol. Use of counterfeit or surrogate liquor is fire in Russia's poorer regions. Investigators along with police officers are performing searches at markets. They have already confiscated about 2,250 ml bottles with Boary Shink. Everything has been sent for analysis. An investigation is underway. 2 people have been detained and suspected of distributing the oil. President Abdul Hamid holds talks with the LDP President Oli Ahmed in Bongo Bhavan in Dhaka on Wednesday. President Abdul Hamid on Wednesday held talks separately with leaders of Krishak Shramik Janata League and Liberal Democratic Party. As part of his move to take opinion of registered political parties for formation of a new election commission during the meeting with a party member Krishak Shramik Janata League delegation led by its president Kadir Siddiqui at the Darbar Hall of Bangabhavan. The president said that talks with political parties would help constitute a strong issue, according to a Bangabhavan spokesperson. Voicing their happiness over their meeting with President Abdul Hamid, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir on Sunday said they are now optimistic about overcoming the country's political crisis. Mirza Fakhrul Islam said, "We are happy and optimistic after today's meeting with the President. The President is completely apolitically personality. He has long been involved in politics. He is also respected by all. We hope the initiative he has taken will play an effective role in overcoming the country's political crisis," he said. Viewers, we'll take a short break. Stay with us. We are back in a moment. Now the news on environment, science and technology. The dart of New York City parks may seem an unlikely way to benefit modern medicine, but scientists in an Upper East Side University lab in Manhattan say they have found genes from the dart's bacteria that could lead to use in antibiotics and anti-cancer treatments. Can this dart be potentially life-saving? Researchers at the Rockefeller University in New York City have found that bacteria extracted from local parks contain genes that might encode drug-like molecules like antibiotics, immunopresents, and cancer-curing agents. Dr. Sean Brady, head of the Laboratory of Genetical Encoded Small Molecules at the Rockefeller University, saying, "We did a large-scale screen of samples from New York looking for these genes, and we were able to find many genes that we don't know what they do, but a subset of genes that we can predict would make molecules that are currently in the clinic." Firefighters battle a large wildfire in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Firefighters are battling a large wildfire in Shawnee, Oklahoma. The fire has burned more than 80 acres near the Shawnee Reservoir. So far, no structures have been damaged, but the fire is moving towards a mobile home park.
Okay, roger that. That he's on. No.
The current created by a starfish larva, a predatory protozoa showing off his hunting technique, and the flowering bodies of a common food contaminant all take top honors in the Nikon Small World in Motion competition. A video depicting an 8-week-old starfish larva carrying the water around its body as it searches for food has taken top prize in this year's Nikon Small World in Motion photomicrography competition. Stanford University's William Gilpin told judges he was surprised that a common organism like a starfish could create this intricate pattern in the water. Second place went to Charles Craib's submission showing a predatory protozoa, a single-celled organism. Viewers, now the news on business. Volkswagen LG has agreed to a $1 billion settlement to fix or buy back another 80,000 floating diesel vehicles sold in the United States as the German automaker took new steps to put its emission cheating scandal behind it. Another corner turned for VW. It will pay $1 billion to fix or buy back another 80,000 polluting diesel vehicles sold to the United States. The German car maker has now agreed to spend as much as $17.5 billion in the states to resolve claims for owners and regulators. Heinrich Ubekan, the CEO of Volkswagen Group in the States, said the latest settlement was an important step towards making things right for our customers. It was announced by a court in San Francisco. U.S. stocks fell on Wednesday with healthcare and real estate shares losing ground a day after the Nasdaq and Dow hit record highs. It was a close call, but now Dow 20K on Wednesday. Despite coming within 15 points early in the session, the Bellwether index fell back to close lower along with the other major U.S. indexes. Since the election, the Dow up about 9% and the S&P 506% on bets that President-elect Donald Trump's plans for deregulation and infrastructure spending will boost the economy. But Stephen Wood of Russell Investment says it is time for a break. Viewers, now the news on entertainment. Known in Mexico as the Pastorela, theater fans take in the beloved local tradition of the Christmas play. Mexicans gathered just north of Mexico City on Wednesday for the staging of the beloved local tradition of the Christmas play, known as the Pastorela. For half a century, famed pastorelas in the Latin American country have delivered a yearly dose of mariachi music and laughter, illustrating the struggle between good and evil and retelling the story of the birth of Jesus with a Mexican twist. Pastorelas are held throughout Mexico, but one of the most traditional performances is in the city of Tepoztlán, where audiences have been taking in the plays for 50 years. Here, some 40 actors perform in a play through December 23. The play is aimed at communicating the spirit of Christmas. Actor-director Denzel Washington and Viola Davis discuss a stage-to-screen family drama adaptation. Fans say Denzel Washington is excited, not so much because he is an Oscar front-runner for his role in Fences, but because bringing the award-winning stage play about blue-collar African Americans to the big screen has been a long-held dream. Pulitzer Prize-winning Fences, which opens in United States movie theaters on December 25, is the first play by the late influential black playwright August Wilson to turn into a film. Washington and Viola Davis reprised their 2010 Tony-winning roles as egotistical garbage worker Troy Maxon and his long-suffering wife Rose in the intense family drama about lost hope, betrayal and race prejudice in 1950s America. Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt talk about working almost exclusively together on the new sci-fi romance Passenger. It seemed like a match made in heaven, having two of the hottest young Hollywood stars, Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, working together. However, reviews for new sci-fi romance Passenger haven't been too kind. The film is about two people who are in stasis en route to a different planet but woke up 90 years when their sleep chambers malfunction. There is no way to go back to stasis, so they try to find ways to pass time on the spaceship. Passengers goes on release in the US on December 21st. Now the news on sports. Alvaro Peterson scored 2,093 test runs for South African. Former South African batsman Alvaro Peterson has been banned for 2 years after admitting the attempted to cover up match fixing by others. But charges of match fixing against Peterson, who has spent the past 2 years playing for Lancashire, were withdrawn by Cricket South Africa. It follows a lengthy investigation into South Africa's domestic Slam T20 Challenge Series competition in 2015. I accept the punishment that CSA has imposed on me, said the 36-year-old. Sports Personality of the Year in 60 seconds was the best beats from the BBC Sports Personality of the Year 2016.
Welcome to the 2016 BBC Sports Personality of the Year.
I made it!
Should we take the dogs for a walk?
Have a great night, Birmingham.
Hi, it's such an amazing honor to be BBC's Overseas Personality of the Year.
The Team of the Year, Leicester City.
I think you'll find that's joint top.
Is it yours?
Many congratulations, and hopefully your retirement gives someone else a chance now.
Running gave me back my confidence, it gave me back my self-esteem, but most importantly, I'm not afraid anymore.
I got a bit of a bone to pick with my wife because she actually told me about an hour ago that she voted for Nick Skelton, so it's been an amazing year for British sport and I'm very proud to be a part of it, so thank you.
Viewers, let's have a look Millennium TV News recap. Berlin crush attack on humanity, said Donald Trump. More US sanctions on Russia, but for how long? Russia, Iran, Turkey say ready to broker Syria deal. Protesters call for Congo leader Kabila to step down. Germany cleans up after deadly holiday attack, manhunt mounts. Viewers, to get any kinds of news, log in our social media, facebook.com/MillenniumTVUSA and youtube.com/MillenniumTVUSA. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on Millennium TV, and don't forget to log in our website www.millenniumtv.net. Thank you and stay with Millennium TV. Allah Hafiz.